mycket. De håller på att få kontakt med Rojava nu och det är inte lätt. Och vad heter det? Ni vet också att Salih Muslim då, som är ordförande i PYD och den som faktiskt är en av de viktigaste personerna där nu, kanske den viktigaste. Man försöker nu att kontakta honom direkt, men han är naturligtvis på ett ställe som ingen vet om. Han gömmer sig. Så att det är den som vi vet att det kan vara väldigt besvärligt att få kontakt med Rojava. Så ha lite tålamod, vi tror att det ska gå. Tack. Okej. Så, hello? No. Hello, Mr. Salih Muslim, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you.
Oh, hello, and very, very welcome. Unfortunately, we have some technical problems. I think it's because of the Turkish government, but we have that problem. And here, we are a lot of people. We have during 2 days been discussing peace and environment in the world and in Europe, in Sweden, and we think that Rojava is a very, very important place for us discussing peace and environment in the future. So that's what I want to tell you before I say a few words in Swedish to the people here, and then my friend Mehdi will go on discussing with you the situation in Rojava. But I'm very happy to have contact with you again. I remember very well when we had dinner in the City Hall in Stockholm and when you visited us here many, many times, and I hope we will see each other again. Soon, very soon. No, excuse me, I will say a few words just in Swedish. Jag tänker bara säga väldigt, väldigt kort att vi i vår förening, Solidaritetsföreningen för Kurdistan, det är vi som ordnar det här lilla mötet. Och det gör, vi har under många år haft väldigt många arrangemang om Turkiet, Kurdistan, situationen i den här delen av världen som berör kurderna. Och nu när vi hade den här freds- och miljömässan så tycker vi att det var väldigt viktigt att just få med Rojava. Eftersom det är en plats där människor mördas varje dag. Politiker mördas, barn mördas, civila mördas. Så därför så tycker vi att det är fantastiskt att få med Salih Muslim. Den här länken, vad jag förstår nu, är en länk som inte, den är förbjuden, eller hur Naile? Förmodligen förbjuden, förmodligen störd, eller blockerad. Och det är väl det som händer i den här delen av världen. Så att jag tänker sluta där, lämna över till min vän Mehdi som ska ställa frågor till Salih Muslim. Och vi tänker göra så att de kommer att konversera nu en stund. Sen så kommer ni att få ställa frågor i slutet av det här lilla mötet. Okej? Tack.
Mr. Salih Muslim, welcome to our meeting here. I would like to ask some questions about Rojava. Can you please describe the situation for us in Rojava? What is happening in Rojava now?
Okay. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay. Well, our regards and salutes to all friends over there, all comrades and all friends. First of all, I thank you. All the people are working, preparing for this meeting, and I am glad about you, to be with you and address to you. For our situation here in Rojava, maybe we are in the Middle East, and you are following the news also that the Middle East is boiling really. So we are struggling really for our being, for our existence in Rojava, as you know. There were some attacks. Those attacks by the Turkish government or Turkish fascism and never stopped. And even yesterday and the day before, there are a lot of shellings. Drones are bombing the places. 2 days ago, they bombed the place in Kobani. There were some casualties, and also they're flying over us all the time. So Really, we are in the struggle. And as you know, at the beginning of this month, I mean, with this Gaza fighting, before that, 2 days, they attacked our places, and they announced, I mean, even that they are going to destroy all the infrastructure in our areas, and they have done it really. They bombed everywhere. They bombed the civilians. They killed the civilians and the children and women. Also, they bombed the schools. They bombed the ovens, and they bombed all the energy places, electricity, and everything. I mean, even the hospitals. They have bombed 2 hospitals, one in Kobani and one in Beirut. So they have bombed everything really in our areas, and we are still now trying to remedy what they have destroyed, I mean, in our areas, in local. So this is the situation. I mean, all the people are really in the bad and not good situation, I mean, for their everything. And as you know, also, we are surrounded by the regime forces also from one side. We are abandoned from Turkey, from Iraq, and so we are trying, I mean, to make the life of the people, I mean, better. This is from the one side. The other side, I mean, the sleeper cells by ISIS, which is Daesh, is never stopped. They are attacking every day in Deir Zor and places. And recently they tried to mix everything in Deir Zor also by encouraging the tribes over there, the Arab tribes, trying to mix, I mean, conflict, create a conflict between the Arabs and the Kurdish side. But it failed now. Still, I mean, we have their cells killing the people, killing the democratic Syrian forces from day to day. So this is the struggle. We are in the struggle, really.
Thank you very much. What act must the international community take to stop these attacks from Turkey today?
Well, I think there are some main powers over here. I mean, the international coalition, and I think that Sweden is a part of it also, and also United States, and even maybe they can warn Turkey about this drone attacks and these shellings, because but nobody is saying anything to Turkey. I mean, so this is the problem really. And also, maybe because Turkey is very worried about these political situations, our relations with Europeans and other countries. So they are afraid of this political recognition, I mean, to know the people over here and this administration, civil administration in the area. So because of that, they are trying, I mean, to collapse this. And as you know, maybe they are agreed. There are, I mean, they are trying, I mean, to mix things with the Syrian regime and also with the Iranian government, trying to collapse this administration. So maybe in Europe, European countries, maybe they can warn them from one side. And they try to deal with, the administration, at least, I mean, to recognize as a political side, I mean, in this conflict. So this could be done, I think, even in Europe and other places. And to free our work, because they are banning our works also. And I remember, I mean, in Sweden, they were planning for the Syrian issue, I mean, planning for the conference, but it was postponed, or they are afraid maybe Turkey is pressuring to not have any contact with us, and even for Democratic Syrian Council also. So all the problems are facing us because of Turkey. Politically try to abandon us and even on the ground. And so this is the problem we are facing. Our friends in Europe, they can help us two ways. One of them to free our work and our activities over there to be free, and to recognize politically, to recognize the administration as a part of the Syrian, the Syrian opposition. To be free to work and talk to the people, to move around. So I think that this will be helpful for us.
Thank you. You have sacrificed 10,000 women and men in fighting Daesh, and now the world is in neglect about what's happening there, and they seem to focus on other conflict areas like Israel, Palestine, and Ukraine. How this situation, how is impact the Rojava when all focus on other areas than Rojava?
Well, actually, they are ignoring this problem, and I think it's a bomb, really. So it's a timing bomb for those ISIS problem. Their camps and their prisoners in our side. We are trying to make a court for them, in Syria, but we don't get any help from the European countries. Maybe they are just ignoring it, or they don't want to do anything on this subject. We have prisoners from about 40 countries of the world overall. We are guarding them and feeding them and taking care of them in the prisons, and even the prisons are not safe. This is from one side. The other side, we have a camp for the women and children of Daesh, and nobody is taking care of them also. This is one side. The other side, Turkey is trying to liberate them, trying to open this, by these attacks, they are bombing around these prisons, and so in order maybe to liberate them or to take them. And also in the camps, for these women and children, maybe through the smugglers, they are trying to get them every day. So it's very dangerous, because maybe we are very doubtful about what Turkey is trying to do. I think what they are going to do, they're just to get them and use them in Europe and the other countries to threaten them by those Daesh numbers. And they have done it before. So this is the problem I think we are holding on our shoulders instead of all the world, because nobody is taking care of them. But I think they should take care of it, because there are remains of Daesh, and maybe in any problem, Turkey will free them. So this is the problem, if Turkey can get through and or to liberate those prisoners in our area. So we are asking our friends and the countries in Europe, to help us to make this courts over here in Rojava as soon as possible, to know what we can do, And for these camps, for the women and children, maybe they can help us to take care. We are talking about more than 50,000 people over there. We are feeding them and we are guarding them, and we are not getting help from any side. So we are asking, those people at least, to get those women and children to their countries. They are not doing it. Maybe they are taking one or two and problem. Nobody wants them in their country. So they are just leaving them here, and maybe they are happy about that. But of course, we are suffering really. It's a big problem for us.
Is there possible that the international community can implement non-flying zone over Rojava to protect you from attacking countries in region?
Yes, we asked many countries and even the international coalition, to do that, for the drones and for these shellings. So there, somebody should tell Turkey to stop doing it, Our struggle was with the Syrian regime, to get our democratic rights. But now we are fighting against Turkey, and they have occupied our places, Ras Al Ain, Tel Abyad, Afrin, they are occupied, and all these remains of Daesh and all those mercenaries are located over there. Even they are attacking, So, well, maybe there are 2 points, to ask Turkey to stop their attacks and to withdraw their forces from our places, from occupied places. Because it's occupation, maybe they're mercenaries in these occupied places. They are doing everything, even for maybe smuggling and attacking, and even for drug trafficking, and so everything is from their areas coming to our house. So I think everybody should ask Turkey to withdraw their forces from these occupied places. From Afrin, from Serikani, from Tel Abyad.
It is very absurd that Turkey president he criticized Israel's attack on Gaza. At the same time, they do more worse thing and war against Rojava. Why this hypocrisy?
Well, I think this is not new for the Turkish president and for the Turkish fascism, really. They say something and do something else, really. All the things he said for the Palestinians, he has done themselves. And even they are announced, their foreign ministers are 2 days before this Gaza Strip, in the 4th of October, yes, it's 4th of October, he announced through the televisions that we are going to destroy all the infrastructure and we are going to destroy everything. Is a normal target for our army, for our intelligence services. And after 1 day, he just done it, implemented it, what we had said. And nobody told this foreign minister what you are doing, what you are saying is it's against the humanity, it's against, it's a war crime. Is a crime against the humanity. Nobody told him, but he has done it. And after 3 days, what he said for Palestinians, it was the same. He has done it for the Kurdish people. Really, is hypocrisy, really.
Okay, thank you very much. There is participants here in meeting, and they like to ask you a question. Is it possible to answer their questions?
Yes, please. I will be glad, really.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vem vill ställa en fråga?
På engelska. Nej, men jag kan prata engelska. Jag vet inte riktigt hur, eftersom ingen annan ställde frågan. I just would like to know if you have anything to say about the relationship between Sweden and Turkey these days, when Sweden, the only issue for Sweden is to be member of NATO, and they just let anything pass. I think the opposite would be that Sweden, together with the rest of the world, should claim, put press on Erdogan and not in to Sweden. Do you know about the situation? And I just want to know, hear a comment from you on that issue. Thank you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I should state that we are very happy with the Swedish people. We consider them as a Kurdish people, and we are satisfied with them They are friends of us. We know each other very well. For the Swedish government, of course, I mean, they have their rules and their laws, and we respect them. There is no problem. But one thing, what we can say, I mean, Turkey is blackmailing everybody, and especially for this NATO membership, they are blackmailing the Swedish government. And I hope maybe the Swedish government shouldn't accept what this blackmailing by Turkey. And they, even, I mean, they are trying, I mean, to change the constitution of Sweden just because of Turkey, which is not acceptable, I think, by the Swedish people. And the Swedish people will say no to this blackmailing. And of course, you know, maybe for this membership, until now they didn't accept it because they don't want to lose this paper in their hand, I mean, for blackmailing. They have blackmailed even, I mean, Finland and the other countries and even the NATO's, but everybody owed, I mean, just like that. But for the Swedish, I think people they are not accepting, and they shouldn't accept, I think, this blackmailing. Because we consider the Sweden as a country and the government, and even especially for the Swedish people, Swedish parties, as a friends of the Kurdish people. And we hope to continue this situation. Thank you.
There is more questions.
Well, we know that in Rojava you have formed one of the most interesting societies. You have a very interesting constitution based on human and social ecological values. And I wanted to know, is it possible for you today in this situation to try to maintain this society and try to keep all these values? Because I think it has been followed with big interest from many parts of the world.
Well, it's not the constitution, it's maybe a social contract, I mean, between the people, because we have many components. We have the Kurdish people and the Syriacs and the Arabs and Turkmens. I mean, it's really complicated for the ethnically and even from the belief-wise. So everybody should accept it, I think. And really, we are trying to keep the values of, the moderate nations, just like Europe and the others. But it's very difficult to do it. I mean, we are trying to maintain it and to implement in our areas. But we have many difficulties, especially for the mentality, because as you know, we have a lot of Arabs. They are still, very tied, maybe Muslims, and they are tied to the Arabic as a nationality, and so they don't accept. It's very easy, for this democratic measurements. But we are trying to our best. In daily basis as a KYD, as a party, we have every day we have maybe tens of conferences for the people, for the public. Telling them, trying to change this mentality, and we have succeeded really to do. But it's not enough yet. We have to do it more and more. And because of that, especially in the Arab areas, in Deir ez-Zor and the other places, we are trying, to change the mentality of the people, which is not easy, really. To change the mentality of the people. It needs a work, and you should be very patient to do it. And we are trying to do it, yes.
Okay.
Next questions now.
I see the Turkish has bombed you, and my question is if the Syrian government also has bombed or attacked you. I think no, but is that correct that they don't have bombed and attacked you? And another question, is there another problem with the Syrian government?
Well, for the attacks, I mean, they are collaborating with the Turkish, but they are not doing themselves, their forces. I think the Syrian regime or Syrian government, they don't have enough forces, I mean, to attack our areas. What they are doing, I mean, recently with the Iranians, they are trying to encourage those Arabic tribes. They are supporting them with the weapons, supporting them with the money, and so economically they are supporting them to make attacks in our areas. So that's all they can do. But for the Turkish side, it's very different because maybe they have a lot of mercenaries and maybe in their hand and remains of ISIS, remains of Jabhat al-Nusra, and they are trying to send them to our areas. They are feeding these sleeping cells and so in our areas. But as a direct attack, we don't have direct attacks from the regime in our areas till now. Turkey is making some direct attacks. And also, maybe we have some international coalition bases in our areas. Maybe you have heard recently. We have attacks from those Islamic organizations, I mean, especially located in Iraq, by these missiles and these drones that are attacking every day. So we are also getting, I mean, the hard work with them also. So this is the situation for the collaboration between Iran, Syria, and Turkish regime. From the other side, I mean, we still consider ourselves, I mean, as a part of Syria. Maybe we, without to care about who is sitting in Damascus. Damascus is still the capital of Syria, and maybe if this regime is changed, we have to make some agreements to live together as a part of Syria. So for this way, we are trying to make a dialogue with all the Syrian, organizations, the Syrian parties, and even we are knocking the doors of the regime, I mean, at least maybe to get some understanding each other. But of course, till now, we didn't get any result, I think, because of the mentality of the Basis regime and refusing the Kurdish existence. So this is a problem, really.
I would like to ask you one more question. Why your model is threat to other countries in the region? I mean, gender equality, social justice, and environment protection. Why this model is threat to Turkey, to Iran, to other countries in region?
Well, our Kurdish struggle is very long. I mean, maybe tens of years. I mean, the Kurdish people are struggling. I mean, by different mentalities and different ways. At the end, a summary of all this experience along these tens of years, we see that living democratic and brotherness with the other nations is the only way to do it. And the others think, I mean, the 50% of the society are the women. They should do their job, their work as a human being and so. And because of that, we preferred our model, I mean, for this women, equality of the women with the men, gender equality, I mean, and also with other people to live in democratic, peaceful way, I mean, with the other nations, not to be enemies to each other, I mean, which they were doing before. I mean, just maybe telling the Arabs that the Kurds are enemies, or telling the Kurds that the Turks are enemies, and so they make fighting between them. So we saw, I mean, the right thing to live in together, and the Kurdish issue became a democratic issue. By radical democracy, I think we can solve all the problems and live together with other nations, with the ethnicities, with our different beliefs and so on. And because of that, I think all these values should be kept and defended. And what we are doing now, and even for this, armed forces, they are just self-defense units. I mean, if there is attacks, they are defending these values, defending our people, defending this system, established this, but it's not for attacking the others. And we were okay till now. I mean, we have done something. I think we need more. And because of this democratic model, and I mean gender equality and democratic rights and so, which is the first time in the Middle East, I mean, as a sworn, I mean, of the Middle East, if you are able to make such a model, everybody will hate it. I mean, the regime wouldn't accept it because they are dictatorship, and the Turkish regime, because they are fascism, they wouldn't accept it, democratic. And also for Iran and the other countries, they wouldn't accept it because of the democracy and the gender equality. So because of that, everybody is trying to collapse this model. Not for this, their countries not to be affected by this model. So this is the way. And we are trying to protect our values and our people and our model, I mean, to be model in the Middle East. So this is our case.
Okay, I will take the opportunity to pose a question. I just want to hear your reaction when you hear that the Swedish foreign minister and other Swedish politicians too, they say they will keep distance to PYD, to Rojava, because of your relationship with the PKK. Do you have any comments on that subject?
Well, yes, no, because they are listening to Turkey. I mean, for Turkey, the Turkish view, any Kurds in anywhere asking for some democratic rights for the Kurds, it became a PKK and became a terrorist, which is not true. I mean, all the Kurds, they need their democratic rights. They need to be existence in their countries and other places. They need to make a friendship with the other nations. So Turkey is every Kurd looking for the democracy. They are terrorists and they're connected to PKK. As everybody knows, I mean, PKK is a party struggling for the Kurdish nation rights in the North Kurdistan, not in Rojava, and not the other places. Of course, maybe we'll respect each other, so this is something different. But connection, there is no connection. And we told every time, I mean, even the Turkish side, the international coalition, they are here since 9 years. They know everybody, they are controlling, they're seeing everything. Nobody said so. What he's saying is only Turkey is saying, and blackmailing for that, I mean, the Swedish. And even this word for the foreign ministry and from the others, I think it means they are bowing for this blackmailing, nothing more than that, which is not accepted, I think, by the even Swedish people. It shouldn't be like that, I mean.
And the attacks from Turkey continue, and the world community, they are silent about this. How can, I think many people in Sweden, they sympathize with your struggle to protect your society and your model. But what you accept of your coalition's friends to do now at once to stop these killings and this bombing from Turkey?
Well, I think as a NATO member, maybe the attacking some other countries, killing civilians and so, it's opposite of the NATO rules and the NATO maybe ethics. First of all, the NATO members tell Turkey to stop doing it, not to attack the others, not to kill the civilians. I mean, if the foreign ministry is coming out and saying we are going to destroy the infrastructure, I think should somebody tell him that he's in different country and those are people, civilians, they shouldn't do it. But nobody said so. So I think what they can do, first of all, to tell the Turkey and even the colleagues in this NATO members, I mean, to tell Turkey to stop these brutal attacks on these areas. And secondly, they should withdraw from these occupied areas. And the third thing, they should stop helping those mercenaries, I mean, which all collected in these occupied areas, just like remains of Daesh and Nusra and so. All the countries, the European countries even, I mean the other countries, the NATO members, they can tell Turkey, I think, to at least, I mean, to stop doing them. This is from one side. On the other side, I mean, since maybe 9 years and so when we established this administration, we are looking to be a part of those negotiations for the Turkey as a political force, I mean, political power, political side of it, but nobody accepted. I mean, in Geneva and all those meetings and dialogues for solving the Syrian problem, I mean, political solution for Syria, still we haven't been shared by everybody because of the pressure of Turkey. So everybody is listening to Turkey. And just because Turkey is afraid for our people here to get some democratic rights, I mean, for language, for this culture, and so on and so on. And what we are saying, I mean, our issue is the democracy, nothing more than that, I mean. I think European, I mean, they should defend their values, European countries, and our friends also, international. There are some human rights rules and so in the United Nations and so. But if the case comes to the curse, everything is being ignored, and nobody is taking care of it. So I think this situation should be changed, I think, by the help of our people and our friends over there in Europe and everywhere. This is our hope, yes.
Yeah, I just had one more question. Do you have any official contacts now with, for example, authorities in other countries? Because before you had a very, I would call it a very strong support from Swedish social democratic government. But how are the contacts today with authorities in Sweden or in other countries?
Well, I mean, our party, we have some offices in Europe. I mean, we have in Athens, we have in Paris, we have in Brussels and so. And maybe we have some representatives over there, and even we are trying, I mean, to contact them even openly or even sometimes it's secretly or whatever it is. But we respect these relations, and we are trying to protect all these relations. But now, openly, I mean, in our administration areas, we have delegations from the United States, delegations from France, from UK, and they are here, I mean, following the situation, and we are they are in daily contact with our administration. So, of course, I mean, even the Sweden people and the Sweden, if there is any people representing the Swedish government, they're welcome. We would like to receive them here, to see them in these areas. Especially they are a part of the international coalition.
Thank you. Then there is another question from a participant here. Please.
Hello, Saleh. My name is Janne, and I'm working with a peace movement here in Sweden, Svenska Freds, and as I see it, this should be a very important question for the peace movement. We are now discussing Gaza and the terrible outcome, the terrible future for the people there, but we have also discussed today positive examples of how you can make a better world in the small pieces and in the big on the world scale. And your example from Rojava seems for me to be very interesting. I think that you're under attack because just that. So you said before that you're a bad example for Turkey and Syria and all these regimes who are afraid of democratic rights and so on. So I see it that your example and what you are doing is important for us to lift up in the light, that we should do what we can for this war to end and to help you and help us ourselves in the fight for the democratic values in the world. So I hope that we will do that and that we can bidra so we can support you and yes, that was this in a very bad English, but thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your feeling and for your support, really. Of course, we are proud of our friends and so. And I would like to insist again, we are protecting the humanitarian values. If we feel we are humans, I think there are some values should be defended, I think. And we are sharing it with your people in Scandinavian countries, in Europe countries. We are doing our best. I mean, as you mentioned, before, we have we have a lot of people martyred defending these values for our Kurdish existence and for these humanitarian values. And we'll keep doing it. I think we are doing the right things. Of course, we ask our friends also to do what they are able to do for us, for themselves, as you mentioned. Because I think the problem is not only the Kurdish people problem, it's for the humanity. What we are seeing, in Gaza and other places, is just an example of how brutality can destroy everything for the humans. Everybody is affected. Even our Kurdish people. We see the situation in Gaza and we are getting very, very sad, for this situation. Of course, we have lived, this situation in our areas before that. We don't want other people to live the same. And believe me, if we just release those Daesh and other people, which we are keeping in the prisons and in the camps, if we leave them, some other countries will witness the same what happened in Gaza.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have another question. Is that this, all the NGOs, you have a lot of people that really want to do something for Rojava, but it's a little bit complicated. If you want, for example, to send support by sending money, by helping, people in the women's village and so on. It's very, very complicated, and it would be very interesting to hear how can the civil society support you, like the peace movement or women's movements and things like that, because there is, a great interest in doing that, but we see that it is very complicated. So if you have any ideas how we can do, and how we can also have context between, for example, Swedish women's organizations, Swedish peace organizations, and the organizations in Rojava. That would be very useful for us to know.
Well, thank you very much for this question. Of course, we are glad to see, these people, NGOs, the women organizations, and we would like them to come to our place, to visit our home, to be with us. We will be very glad to receive them here. But the problem is not in we are safe, we are able to protect our guests and our visitors. There is no problem from our side. But the problem is we are banned from everywhere. They cannot come through the Syrian regime. They cannot come through the Iraq even, from Turkey, from the others. So the problem is how to reach to this area. Otherwise, we are safe and we can protect our visitors and our guests here. So, of course, I mean, first of all, we would like everybody to visit us, to see us, what we are doing on the ground by their eyes. And this is the first thing. And the other thing, I mean, they can do, we have the representations, I mean, from the administration, from our parties and so, and even in Sweden, I mean, maybe the friends over there, they know Shiar Ali, which is one of our members over there. They can be helpful for that. We have some organization in Europe and so, for the humanitarian aids and for the help, for whatever it is. Maybe he can tell you what you should do over there also. And even, of course, we would like also to visit you, to tell you. But the problem is it's a problem really for us to get outside. It's a problem really, because maybe the Syrian regime, they don't allow. We have to go through many pressures because they don't accept it. And I mean, many difficulties for that. But of course, I mean, our representatives will be helpful. We have some our organizations, even in Europe, some other countries, and even in Sweden, maybe our Shiar Ali can be helpful could be helpful for this, anything you ask for it.
Yeah. Thank you. And we just have a Shiar here. He's standing here beside me, and I asked him to tell us something about just the problems we talked about with you. But so for a moment, I will let in Shiar to talk to us and have a very hot speech, I think. No? So just some Salih Muslim, please, if you can wait just a moment so Shiar can talk to us, okay?
Yes, sure.
Ja, hej. Om det funkar här. Funkar bra, va? Ja, hej allihopa. Så att jag är glad att vara här, va? Jag heter Shiar Ali, representant för nordöstra Syrien, kurd. Har bott i Sverige 34 år nu. Flytt landet 1989. Det jag ville säga först och främst var tack för att jag blev bjuden hit. Tack för att ni organiserar sådana här mötena. För det är väldigt viktigt för våran kamp. Kamp för mänskligheten, för demokrati, för solidaritet. Det som sker i det här huset är väldigt viktigt för oss. Våran kamp, kurdernas kamp, för hela Mellanöstern, för hela världen och inte minst för Sverige som är känd för ett humant land, demokrati, mänskliga rättigheter som är principer. Det som sker i Mellanöstern finns största gruppen kurderna, en kamp som har fört i under väldigt många år, smärtsam, har kostat många människors liv. Inte minst senaste 12 åren som vi har offrat 12 000 av våra unga kvinnor och män mot just terrorism, för demokrati, för mänskliga rättigheter, för en förändring i Syrien och i Kurdistan. Det som vi ser och sker idag, det är hemskt. Turkiska attacker mot kurder och det som sker i Palestina ska vi inte glömma. Det som vi ser varje dag har skett under väldigt lång tid mot just kurder och andra grupper som kämpar för mänskliga rättigheter, för sin existens. Det är därför det är väldigt viktigt det som sker i Solidaritetshuset för oss, för det här kamp. Vi har öppnat vår representation i 2016, april. Vi har jobbar väldigt aktivt mot alla håll för just ge information och en bild vad som sker där nere. Men tyvärr, vi är totalt isolerade från Turkiet, Irak, Syrien. Sådär. Och idag, även Sverige har isolerat oss. Även Sverige som vi tyckte att det var kurdernas vänner. Men det som ni gör är viktigt för att den isoleringen blir borta. Förut fick vi lite hjälp att kunna få visum och besöka. Vi hoppades att vi skulle få så här muslimer vara här idag. Och även andra representanter så berätta vad som sker där på plats. Men tyvärr, Sverige har blockerat den totalt. För att Erdogan ska vara nöjd. Vilken som han kommer aldrig vara. Sverige och även Finland hoppades att det ska gå fort och gå in i NATO. Vi har sagt vi vill inte att kurderna ska ligga på basaren. Va? Men tyvärr. Återigen, kurderna som betalar det priset. Sverige tar avstånd från det kamp som vi har fört. Sverige tar avstånd för att hjälpa till. Sverige är inte ens med i koalitionen mot IS och terrorismen. Som leds av USA. Och USA, det är inte bara vi som ville det. De är där för att de vill vara där. Va? De är inte där för kurdernas skull. De är inte där för demokratin heller. Men det är någonting som vi inte kan rå på. Det pågår ett krig. Det finns alla där. Men det betalar priset, det är kurderna som betalar. I Afrin fanns nästan 90 miljoner olivträd. Idag nästan 20% är borta. I Afrin bodde 95% som bodde där var kurder. Vi pratar om nästan 600 000 kurder. Idag finns kanske 15% av dem. Resten var tvungen att fly. Det pågår en etnisk rensning. Men jag vill återkomma till Sverige. Vi behöver komma i kontakt. Vi behöver hjälp. Vi behöver att Sverige ska se att det pågår en kamp för demokrati. Alla partier i riksdagen, även Socialdemokraterna, vill inte träffa oss längre. En del av Vänsterpartiet också vill inte träffa oss. De vill vänta tills NATO-processen är klar. Och vi tycker att det här är orättvist. Orättvist, vi förstår att SD vill inte träffa oss. Men vi förstår inte att Miljöpartiet och Vänsterpartiet vill inte träffa oss. Ofta. Det är därför det ni gör här är väldigt viktigt för oss. Det är väldigt som pågår i Solidaritetshuset är viktigt. Jag vill tacka dem för allt de gör här. Va? Jag vill komma hit oftare. Jag vill att ni ska komma till oss också. På vårt kontor. Träffa oss. Det finns mycket i våran gemensam kamp att vi kan göra. Jag stannar här. Jag tackar er en gång till. Tack så mycket. Tack för att ni att lyssna.
Thank you. Shiar had a very, very strong speech about the situation in Rojava and about our relations. But we are going to finish this meeting, and we really want to thank you, Salim Muslim, because we really want to have this contact with Rojava, and we really appreciate that you have. I know that you are very, very busy, and I also know that your situation is very dangerous. So that you really choose to spend some time with us here in Stockholm, in Sweden. We are very grateful. So I say really thank you so much and hope to see you soon again. Really, I have tried to go to Rojava. It's impossible. They don't let me in and they don't let us in either. So, Förstår? Ja, men det, alltså, får jag prata klart? We really hope that you can come here and we can come there. And then I will give the table to you if you would like to finish by having a speech or telling us something important before we stop this meeting. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your feelings and your friendship and for those nice words. I mean, we are hearing from our friends. First of all, we are glad. I mean, we thank you for who just made this event and let us to talk to each other, to see. I am sorry I cannot come to Sweden now at this time because of the situation. I don't want to explain. I mean, a lot of difficulties. One of them because of I don't have a passport really. So this is the first one. And of course, many other things. But of course, you are welcome anytime to come to our place, to see you here, to make meetings here, to see the people, to talk to them. Just consider Rojava as your home, your house. So you are free to do what you like, and maybe we can, talk to each other, to exchange the ideas for the better situation, and we will be glad for that. And thank you for all, by your name, to all the Swedish people. Really, we feel that they are very friendly, and we were happy, to be with them and to talk to them. So I promise, again, we'll keep protecting the values of the Swedish people, for the humanitarian values, and we will defend ourselves and our values to the end. Be sure of that. Thank you very much again, and maybe see you next time, anytime you like. Thank you.
And we would like to thank you with warm applause. Thank you very much, Salim Muslim.
Thank you.
Så det var väldigt starkt tycker jag. Mycket viktigt. Jag vet inte, jag tror att du Shiar, du är kvar lite om folk vill prata och ställa frågor till dig. Så vi kommer ju sen om en stund att ha en annan inslag här, eller en annan diskussion som just handlar om hur är det möjligt att utveckla freden i en ny global världsordning. Och där ingår ju Rojava. Och hur kommer det att se ut i framtiden när en ny global världsordning kanske kommer att infinna sig ganska snart. Men det är en annan debatt som kommer att vara sen. Men jag tror, Shiar, vi kommer snart blir det fika, och jag hoppas du stannar så folk kan komma och prata med dig, eller? Han är här, han finns där, det är bara att attackera honom. Ni var en jättebra publik, tack så hemskt mycket. Det betyder mycket det här för Rojava, faktiskt. Ja, ni måste sitta kvar. Kemal måste få läsa en av sina kurdiska dikter, hoppas jag. Inte något annat, utan kurdiskt.
Vem vet? Det är en dikt som handlar om längtan. Längtan till fred. Längtan till att bli fri. Och det är oftast de kurdiska dikterna och sångerna är ämnade till längtan. Till att bli fri någon gång. Tyvärr i många år och många decennier har det kurdiska folket lämnats ensam till sitt öde. Men idag, när vi hörde på Salih Muslim, snart med era frågor till Shiar Ali, kommer vi att kanske få lite mer kunskap om det lidande det kurdiska folket går igenom. Kurderna är uppdelade i 4 länder. Det är ungefär 70 miljoner vi talar om. Vi har varit med väldigt många folkmord, förintelse, bombningar av Saddam och mycket annat. En okänd soldat. När en delegation besöker ett land tar den med sig en blomsterkrans till den okände soldatens grav. Imorgon, om en delegation kommer till mitt land och frågar mig: var är den okända soldatens grav? Då svarar jag: min herre, vid kanten till varje bäck, på varje moskés bänkar, utanför varje dörr, varenda kyrka, var eviga grotta, på vilken bergshäll som helst, i träden, i alla trädgårdar, i det här landet, på varje bit av marken, under varje del av himlen. Tveka inte. Böj huvudet en aning och placera den blomsterkrans du har. För varje del av landet är en okänd soldats grav. Tack. Och det är så. Idag när vi ändå sitter här och tänker på offren i Kurdistan, i Ukraina, i Gaza, i Israel, över hela världen, i Latinamerika, i Afrika, över den kartan som vi ser och kallar till världskartan. Jorden är grav för väldigt många okända soldater. Men vi glömmer dem. Vi tänker bara på nyhet. Vi har väldigt kort minne. Men om vi någonsin tänker på det som har hänt och fått det världen som vi lever i idag, då tror jag att vi kommer att vara en mycket större hjärta för att försvara människan. När vi går in och fördömer den ena eller den andra, då blir vi också part av de krigsförande. Låt oss förenas en gång, bara för fred. Alla som är i krig, alla som är krigmakar, de måste vi fördöma. Alla krig är förödande. Utan vi måste försvara människan och freden. Det finns ingen krig som inte går att lösa med kommunikation. Alla fred slutar också med avtal, med kommunikation. Så vi måste försvara människan och freden och en varaktig kommunikation. Tack.